Go to Sugar Hill, trace the bloodline. 100 years of brilliance through the color line. They thought the shackles broke but kept the mental chain. Langston penned the future while they legislated pain. Harlem's ballrooms birthed the cosmos in mahogany, while lynching trees still decorated southern botany. Josephine, Waker's pearls and Garvey's Navy ships. Du Bois debating destiny with scholarship on his lips. The Renaissance was a renaissance of West resistance, fam. Every trumpet blast from Armstrong was a battering ram. They gave us minstrel shows, we gave them Sora Neal. Turned depression into art, made the fabricator real. Cotton Club excluded us from tables every set. To form the Deanus Nightly, never free from the deck. But Bessie Smith could shatter glass, shatter cash, shatter lies. Every note she sang contained a revolution in the sky. Build temples from the rubble, make cathedrals from the struggle. Turn the margins to the center, now they study what we scribble. We build temples from the rubble, every generation double the inheritance of genius that they tried to keep us from. Fast forward through the decades, watch the pattern reassemble. Malcolm speeches, Moses marches, every voice begins to tremble. To the earth until the structure shows its fractures. Every album track and every chord, every pastor, every actor. 40 acres never came but 40 minutes on a stage. To reconvene your consciousness and channelize the rage. From bebop to hip-hop, the fool lines mathematical. Each generation weaponized the beautiful, the radical. They gave us Reagan out as crack and mass incarceration. We gave them Public Enemy and blueprints for liberation. The Harlem Renaissance never ended, just evolved its form. Every freestyle cipher is a brainstorm, is a storm. Where the children of the talented, the tenth that was prophesied, inherit the fire that the water couldn't wash aside. They tried to write us out the narrative. We offered all on text, 100 years of proof, and that we're destined. Where was next? Temples from the rubble, made cathedrals from the struggle. Turned the largest to the center, now they study what we scribble. We built temples from the rubble, every generation double the inheritance of genius that they tried to keep us from.
All right, this is Under the Groove Podcast, and we are Under the Groove. We're touching bases with the people tonight. It's Thursday, December the 12th, 2024. It's a pleasure to be here as always. I'm hoping everyone is tapping in and getting down with this get down like we do, you guys. You know how we do. Hold on, let me make an adjustment right quick.
Yeah, because it's showing UTG on the screen.
Yeah. Is it?
Yes.
Okay. Hold on. Give me a minute, everybody.
That's why you need it.
There we go. Okay. It's let me take that off. Okay. There you go. All right. We good?
Yeah.
We good.
Okay. Who say black and make black?
All right. This is Under the Groove Podcast, and again, we are touching bases with the people. It is a pleasure to be here. I'm always feeling grateful and fortunate when I'm able to come and sit down with the people just to chop it up, man. You know how we do. This is where we keep everything above board and straight. We see no evil, hear no evil, and we speak no evil. We put people over paper. You know, this is where we get down with the get out because we're focused on the focus. Today is no exception. This is what we do. It's a pleasure, everybody. Hopefully everybody is well and everything is everything with everyone. Peace and blessings to you and yours. How's everyone? Let's get this thing cracking like we do, y'all. Hey, man, like I said, it's always a pleasure to be here. So we're here. Let's do what we do most. Let's do what we do best. This is the Royal Group Congregations Sit Down. This is where we meet up and talk about whatever we feel like talking about, all right? That man was all right, you know, going to work and then coming here, you know, it's a lot of, you know, road rage is real. It's real. I mean, seriously, it's real. You know, and I had to check myself this morning on the way to work and, you know, just smile at the situation, you know. So I'm trying to get in the lane, you know, because that car's parked in the bike bus lane. I use that lane because I can get there quicker. I'm trying to get over, man. Some cat, man, another pickup. I guess, you know, his pickup didn't look as good as mine. He felt like, you know, I'm not letting you in, you know. Anyway, you know, I fudged my way in there, pissed him off, man. Go to the fast lane, getting on the side of me, man. Look at me, start giving me the finger and all this, man. I looked at him, I smiled, gave him the finger back, and, you know, went on to work. On the way here, same thing, man. I'm like, damn, okay, I done got better. But it seemed okay when I, fall back, just take shit as it comes. People get worse. I don't know, man. I don't know. But I'm fortunate to be here as always, man. And like I said, it's a pleasure, man. So hey, let's get into this thing. James Cash, man, it's always good to see you, brother. He says, salute, brother Bub. Happy Thursday. Best wishes and blessings to you and yours. And as always, I'm under the groove to the fullest. Trust and believe. All black, all beautiful, one. Yeah, B1 equals black first, man. It's a pleasure to see you in here, James, man. Thanks for coming. All right. Roderick Frazier, man, say OG, salute, OG, salute right back, Roderick, man. Peace and blessings, bro. Good to see you back, man. Queen Nzinga, happy Thursday, my beautiful black kings, queens and kings in the Royal Group Congregation B1. James going to say, man, my biggest regret was getting booted out of the crib at 21. Moms gave me the boot. I deserved it. And after that, for 9 years, we never spoke. And I never got to see her until I turned 30 and got it right. Hey, man, just you saying that, man, that's deep, bro. Moms, man, moms. Boy, somebody should have been on your neck. Somebody should have been on your neck. I remember moms telling me as a kid, I remember this growing up. I could swear up and down she was wrong about a whole lot of things, but she would tell me I'm right, even when I'm wrong. I'm telling you, she hammered that into me too. I got to the point where I understood what she was saying. Mom, I could think she was wrong, man, to the sun go up and down. But the fact of the matter was, moms was always right, because like I was saying the other day about our mothers, man, they're our teachers, just like our fathers, But mothers, I think, are more pronounced in terms of how they lace us, because they have a greater love and fear for our well-being, our safety, and things of that nature. So they really speak truth to power. They'll say it in a lot of ways where we don't want to accept it because it'd be harsh. That'd be that mother love. That'd be that tough love, man. Mom's was always right, even when I thought she was wrong, man. To hear that you had to go 9 years, man, without that relationship, your mother, who you come from that womb month, you know what I mean? That's devastating, man, just to hear that, bro. But at the same time, it's good to know that you dealt with that. You got your shit together. Excuse my French, people. James, you went back and you made that right with your moms, man. Anytime people get to talking about mothers and stuff, man, I tell you what, man, I did a long time in prison. Just, even before the life sentence, I miss my mother, man. And my mother was my harshest critic. Trust me when I tell you that. She didn't play, and I used to resent a whole lot of how she dealt with things, but it wasn't until I came to understand as a man, Moms was right about everything. She's not here today, man. I miss my moms, man. I wish I could. I ain't gonna lie, man. I wish I could sit down here, sit here and talk to my moms like I talk to you guys. I used to do that until she passed away. Moms would call, man, and we have our debates. We talk everything under the sun, man. And whenever I rubbed her the wrong way, she kicked me off the phone. Put your wife on the phone. I didn't like it, but when she put your wife on the phone, I knew she was done with me. But I miss talking to my moms, man. I miss that, man, in the worst way, bro. I think about it a lot. I think I didn't even, before she passed, I didn't appreciate her as much as I should have. You know what I mean? I didn't see her as much as I should have. Didn't call her and talk to her as much as I should have. And that's my regret. So, bro, don't be in a stage of regret, because you don't have to be. You get me? She's here, homie. She's here. Every thought you might have of her, having your mom's, man, call her. Send her a text. Go see her. You only get one, bro. I gotta salute the brothers, man, but I one mom's, man. And I miss her. I miss her dearly. I'm not gonna lie, man. So just hearing you say that, you talking about moms, man, and what you guys went through, man. I just say, man, you only get one, man. It ain't nothing like a mother, man. Nothing. No one, man, that love, man, is there, man. Understanding, man, and consideration, concern, man. You know, all that matters, man. When she goes, that goes with her. You know, we have memories, you know, we can, you know, we could be nostalgic about a whole lot of things growing up about moms. We'll never forget. But her presence, once it's gone, man, it's a cold feeling, man. It's a cold fraternity to be in when one loses his mother or her mother. So yeah, man, appreciate her now. Way more than you do now. I know you do. You just said that. Give us some more, homie. Give us some more. Give a lot more. All right. You only get one. You know. But yeah, man, I get what you're saying, and I'm gonna read that again because I think it made me just think back on my mom's, like I said. But your biggest regret was getting booted out the crib at 21. Moms gave you the boot. You said that you deserved it, you know? And after that, for 9 years, we never spoke, and I never got to see her until I turned 30 and got it right. Damn. Damn, bro. Well, I'm glad to hear that you got it together and that you recognize that that's mom's. You know? Give me all, always. All right? So one love to you, man, and peace and blessings to you and your mother, man. Send her our love and regards, all right? Do that for us. The weekends here, 198 says, head under the groove and to all my loved ones. The weekends here, shit, you sound like a new one, man. Hey, peace and blessings. Yeah, and a salute, bro. This is Under the Groove Podcast, and you are touching bases with the people. We appreciate your comment, brother. This is where we get down with the get out and we focus on the focus. B1 here means black first, man. People over paper. We're about the business, man. We're about our people, you know, trying to find a way through discussion and hopefully with solutions after the fact to come together, man, and bring us into the now. We lacking, all right? Just to have you here, that goes to prove, it shows that people are listening and tapping in. So we appreciate your presence on this. Get down, brother. Hey, man, let's let it do what it do. All peace and blessings to you and yours, all right? Come on now. James said, during my 20s, I spent over 7 years on that hardcore concrete and wasted my 20s away. I effed over my prime years, though as of the last 6 to 7 years, I've been rebuilding myself and my relationships. Yeah, that's your work, bro. That's your work. I'm gonna tell you, I can relate to that because sitting in them stools, you know, I don't care how many years you're in there. It's nothing to sneeze at, man. That's some serious stuff. You know, you're taking away from those who love you most of those you love most, man. You know, you don't get that back. You don't get that back. So just hearing you say that, you know, you've been through all that, man, and you messed off, you know, all that. Yeah, man. But, you know, I trust that anytime we go through situations and circumstances like that, man, and we have an opportunity to come back from that, boom, that's where you go all in on. You know, that's where you go all in. You don't play catch up. You know what I mean? Because that's gone. You can't get that back. But you make up for lost time. You know, you make up for lost time, bro. Hey, I'm pretty sure you've learned a lot of lessons over the course of those 7 years, man. And I'm pretty sure you appreciate family more now than ever. That's a fact, man. That gotta be a fact, man. You know, so continue, man. Just you rebuilding yourself and those relationships and bonds, man. Very important. Very important. We say here, and we all say here, that our wealth is one, our health, and two, our family. That's it. That's all we got, man. That's all we got. So just the fact that you got it together, you recognize your mistakes, man, and you're working on improving yourself, not just yourself, but the relationship you have with others. Come on, man, do the damn thing. That's your work, bro. That's your way. That's the way, you know, that's more significant than a 9 to 5. You know what I mean? that carries a whole lot more weight, man, than just a regular old job, man. Going to work for Gilmore. You know, that's your work, man. Home and family. That's job number one. So, hey, man, stay on that course, man. Keep doing what you're doing. All right. You go on to say the family is the most important factor in our lives, but all right. I'm putting the cart ahead of the horse, bro. But hey, we on the same page, you know what I mean? We don't just empathize, we sympathize, we understand where you're coming from. You know, you and I, you know, we're on the same page, man, same wavelength. But anyway, you say family is the most important thing in our lives, but what would you say to those like myself and younger ones who are hard-headed and have had to raise ourselves from a young age with no direction? That boat I was into. I was in that boat as well. So my suggestion, my advice to those brothers and sisters who feel like you know, they've had to raise themselves over these years, you know, to be the people they are, man. I think that was all for a reason. You know, sometimes, you know, we have to, or we find ourselves separated from that core unit. And in that separation, I think we tend, or we get into life, we get to live in life to a point where we start getting these lessons. And these lessons are reflective of what was said to us previously before we got kicked out the house, left the house, or whatever the case may have been. These lessons ring true, especially when we call ourselves on our own. We start to see and understand a lot of stuff, man, that people were saying to us previous before the departure. You know, now you're in this situation where you out here alone, so to speak. And you starting to, you know, you think back, man, you say, damn, mom said this, dad said this, bro, sis, people said these things, man. You know, I took the wrong way. Okay, we take the wrong course sometimes. Sometimes we end up on the wrong road. But I'm telling y'all, man, through these experiences that we go through when we find ourselves alone or out there alone, there are lessons. We have to be mindful of these lessons because these lessons are those things that will bring us back to the fold if we really pay attention. If we're really focused on the focus, everything we're going through, we come to understand that these are life lessons. We're being schooled, you know. We even have these situations, you know, with our own, you know, hey man, okay, you know better than us, you know, hey, go find out. Go find out. You know, fuck around and find out. But the truth, man, the truth is the truth. Ain't no denying it. For you young brothers and sisters who are hard-headed, you know, for you young brothers and sisters who say that you raised yourselves, I want y'all to think about something, man. It's never really about that. You're never really alone. Even when you're in the streets, there are people there with you. I have a saying that no one does anything by themselves. I don't care, man, what situation you're in or what the circumstance is. There's always somebody there who might impart advice, direction, support, love, whatever the case may be. No one's ever alone, and no one's never going to do anything by themselves, man. It's always going to take someone else to help you get through. So, you know, take that as, you know, just, you know, some advice in terms of you being out there. You weren't out there by yourself. Now, set that aside. The part about us being hard-headed, you know, we tend to think that we know everything, right? That's one of the problems we have, especially our people. We tend to think we know everything, man. And the fact of the matter is, we don't know half of what we think we know. Actually, less than that. Hard head make us soft ass, you know. Couple that with the fact that a lot of us do that, or we're hard headed because we tend to put pride and ego ahead of everything else, man. Pride go before the fall, bro. You know, I'm saying all this to say, get past that. Get past the fact or the thought that you know everything, can't nobody tell you nothing. You know, that's where a lot of us that's where we make most of our mistakes, thinking we know everything. We don't. You know, that's a fact. We just don't. If we knew everything, a lot of us wouldn't be in the streets like we are. You know what I mean? A lot of us wouldn't be going through a lot of things that we go through, which are, in a lot of respects, man, just harsh realities, harsh experiences. We make bad choices. That's what puts us, that's how a lot of us find ourselves in these situations because of bad choices. See, being hard headed, then, okay, you don't know that, I'm gonna go this way, being hard headed, you made a bad choice. Rather than listen and learn, we say, okay, we're gonna strike out on our own and find out for ourselves. And man, the reality of that is, well, that was a mistake. That was a mistake. And then our pride, our being hard headed, won't allow us to say, okay, man, let me go back home. Let me go fix this or mend this situation so that my life will be better. We tend to strike it out and just stay out there, man, going through unnecessary hardships. Being hard-headed, man, don't get you nothing, man, but a lot of hardship, A lot of brothers and sisters are hard-headed. We were. We've been through a whole lot of stuff. My suggestion is, man, to fall back, man, relent. Allow yourself to be spoken to, allow yourself to listen to the advice that a lot of people give you. You don't necessarily have to be elders, but people just surround you, There's a lot of good advice and a lot of love and support from people, just ordinary people in our lives that we tend to not pay attention to. And then, I had this thought. We were speaking about this maybe a month ago. A lot of people we come in contact with, for lack of a better term, are our angels. But because whatever it is we're involved in, we don't see, how these people have been brought to us or how they appear to us or come into our lives for the right reasons. So we miss opportunity to improve ourselves. We miss an opportunity to not be so hard-headed, but, to relent and listen and take the advice, man, that is offered even by strangers. Being hard-headed, man, ain't gonna get us nothing, and again, but a lot of hardship. We want to get past that, man. We want to get past the point where we feel we have to raise ourselves, because in that, man, there's a lot of missteps. A lot of missteps, man. When we call ourselves raising ourselves without the advice of the elders or mothers or fathers, the elders, aunts, uncles, or people who love us, we end up, or we tend to fall into pits or to the wayside. We end up having experiences that we could have avoided had we not been so hard-headed. So for the young ones and old, we still got a lot of hard-headed old folk, old people, brothers and sisters, let's be honest. It's not always necessary to be that way. It's not. A lot of us, again, we need direction. We need advice. We need counseling, support, and love, most of all. A lot of us want to act like we don't. But I tell you, the main thing that's missing in a lot of our makeup and our character is love. We don't know how to dispense it, as well as we don't know how to receive it, because we're caught up in this thing that we know everything and we don't need anyone. That's wrong. That's wrong. We all need each other, man. All right. Hopefully that, would answer some of what you put out there, James. But going further, you say, real talk, Big Bub. I hate myself for messing up so much and not listening to her, though I love her more than life, inside out. And she's still with me, along with both my sisters, and she keep me in check, as she should. And you should allow that. You should allow that. And that goes for any of us, man, especially when we're dealing with people who are in our lives, who love us, that they've been through some stuff way before us. They know the ins and outs of the decisions, right and wrong. They know, what can befall. They know the experiences of what comes from certain experiences, man. Listen to them. Listen to them. I think I was saying the other day, Tuesday, that not enough of us are speaking up and speaking out. And I want to retract that, because I think that there are quite a few of us in our communities. I don't care where we're from, man, or what tribe we profess to be from. There are individuals in these tribes, in these communities, man, that speak up and speak out. Facts, man. Come on, everybody know it. My point is, though, when that is happening, man, when that's going down, man, again, we have to be receptive, man, to education. Because that's really all it is, to guidance. You know, we have to open up for that, man. We have to be able to receive that. If you can't receive that, then you're gonna miss a whole lot. A whole lot. And I mean, just that's just the way life is. You're not only gonna miss the advice, the support, the guidance, and the love, you're gonna miss the opportunity to miss certain experiences that ain't gonna do you no good, that might destroy you. So I think it pays, man, to listen to those who've been through way more than we have. It's like me, anybody over my age, in fact, some dudes my age and older, man, I'm all ears. You know, lace me, lace me. And if I have knowledge of whatever the conversation is about, you know, I'll wait to what's being said and I'll say, yeah, okay, I'm aware of that, you know. But for the most part, I'm all ears, man. That's what we have to do, man. We have to open our ears and start to listen. Don't just hear people speak, but listen to the words they're talking about, you know, and apply that to the experiences that they're sharing with you. Because I'm telling you, those are the lessons. These are the things that will help us miss these pitfalls, you know, and these traps that are laid before us, man. So, hey, man, there it is, man. You got moms, you got sis and them. Hey, man, bring it together and allow yourself to be put in check, especially when you're not sure, especially when you know you're wrong. You know, especially when you know you might need some guidance or some leadership or direction. Accept that shit, man. You know, because it's going to do you some good. You know, you're being laced. Being laced, man. Ain't nothing wrong with being laced, y'all. Yeah, man. There that is, man. Arms is right about everything. And those are facts. All right, I see you, Fat Rat Playboy. Shout right, hey man, shout out right back to you, man. He says shout out to UTG, Big Bub, and as you state, the B1. Black first, y'all. Long story, how my mother made her transition. What really held value in mother transcended the physical before her transition and that bond. So yeah, we on the same page, but let me continue what you said. Continue. That bond is eternal. If a martyr is immortalized at death's door, how much more so is the mother who goes to death's door each time she brings forth life? Great topic, bro. Let me read that shit again, because you know, we don't want, look, man, again, for the youngs, man, who may be listening, you don't have to comment, man, you don't have to say nothing. But I'm telling y'all, man, there are jewels, man, being dropped. And we're supposed to pick them up. Man, I don't care what age we are, man. You know, we pick them up to become jewelers. You know what I mean? And what that means is when you pick up these jewels, man, you fashion these things, man, into something more worthy. You fashion them in such a sense, not only are they more worthy and valuable, you pass these jewels on. You pass them on, man. You know, and again, what we're talking about are the jewels from mama. It's no greater jewel. You come from the best of the best, man. You know, that's not to, you know, discredit, you know, pops, dad, you know, your father, but the mother love, the jewels from mother, mom's experiences, man, they heavy, man, they deep. You know, you don't get them type of jewels, man, from nobody else. Nobody dispense that type of wealth, knowledge, education, and guidance than a mother. That's my opinion, all right? But let me read that again, Fat Rat, because I think that was fire, homie. All right, you say, Big Bub, you know, as you state, you know, long story, how my mother made her transition. What really held value in mother transcended, what really held value in mother transcended the physical before her transition. And that bond is eternal. If a mortal is immortalized at death's door, how much more so is the mother who goes to death's door each time she brings forth life? Y'all get that shit? You know, a martyr's, you know, departure, man, his transition cannot even match that of a mother. Hers, man, is, you know, how many times, man, does she go to death's door? You know, yeah, mom should always be eternalized. You know, I hope I got that right. There's no greater martyr for you than your mother, man. She 100 times over, man. She'll martyr herself for you, you know. And in most cases, mom, a lot of mothers do it even when you're wrong. You can't tell me that love right there, man. That can't be matched. That can't be matched, man. You know, again, man, it made me think about my moms, man. I can't help but think about my moms and how many times I know for a fact she was my martyr. She was my martyr, man. You know, time and time and time again. Yeah, eternalized, man. That's her. That go for each and every mother, man. They are eternalized. We'll forget a whole lot before we forget them. You know. Hey, Fat Red, appreciate you, man. I appreciate you, man. And hopefully you and yours are well, bro. Hey, it's always a pleasure to see you in this Get Out, bro. You are becoming a mainstay in this Get Out. Me and the homie, you know, we mentioned you time to time, man. I appreciate you, bro. In fact, we'll talk. We'll talk. You know, I have a consideration, man. I hope you know, you'll think about it. All right. We need to get brothers on this Get Out, y'all. We need to get brothers on this Get Out to come here and let's talk about the things that matter. Let's talk about our women first. See what I'm saying? Because we don't give them enough credit to begin with. You know, let's talk about how we were raised by these women, man, and what that means. Because a lot of us still carry that, you know. It's in us. It ain't on us. So we walk through life every day with what mom imparted to us, what she gave us. I'm telling you, I remember all things the moms gave me above everything else. She's with me every day, you know. Miss her physically, but she's with me every single day. All right. All right. What is this? Justin and Day. I hope I said that right. Yeah, Justin and Day. What's grooving, cuz? What's grooving right back to you, bro? It's good to see you in here. You're first. This, you know, us seeing you here is a first. Hey, man, peace and blessings to you and yours. This is Under the Groove Podcast. Like, share, and comment. Subscribe if you see fit, man. We don't worry about that. But we are considerate of those who come in here, man, and share, you know, love, you know, not only self, but those that you love and those who are around you. That means everything, man. You being here, man, shows a certain love and respect you have, not just for yourself, but for your people. So, man, peace and blessings, man. It's a pleasure to have you here, bro. All right, Antonio Anthony, man, love and salute right back, bro. You know how we do. Acres Home 44, where you been, man? Where you been? Good to see you, bro. Good to see you. You said, what's the deal, G? Hey, man, mother love. All right? Appreciating mother love. And you know, I don't, you know, even, you know, a lot of us have issues with our mothers. I can tell you some stories, man. Well, yeah, I resented everything my mother was doing, man. I had an instance of, I had cussed my moms out before. You know, that's one instance. Another instance, I actually hit my mom, man. And one of my homeboys, rest in peace, Big Tim from 74 Hood. We lived directly across the street from him. Moms was on my neck because moms didn't like what I was doing, you know. And here again, I was a hardhead, or I thought I was, you know. But moms was wise, you know. Moms was with the business. She had been through way more than what I couldn't fathom half the stuff my mom's been through, you know. Only as I got older in life, I began to understand what my mom's had went through, her experiences, just taking care of 6 boys. Anyway, she wasn't having it, you know, and I'm telling her, nah, man, I'm doing what I want to do. And mom's, man, shoot, at this time, I think I'm gonna tell the truth. I think I was 13. I might have been 14 years old. Moms was still trying to whoop my ass with extension cord. You know, I'm running. I'm trying to get away from that shit. Anyway, long story short, on this particular day, this time when I called myself, put my hands on my mother. I did that, but I did it outside. I ran out on the porch. She happened to grab me. I don't know how she grabbed me. I turned around and swung on her. My homeboy Tim was across the street working on his car. He seen the whole get out. Everything, right hand man to my mom's man, you know, and to powers that be, man, you know. He dropped everything, ran across the street. And most of y'all who know Timmy, he wasn't nothing to play with. Dude grabbed me, literally grabbed me off the ground and threw me down. If I ever see you, raise your hand at your mama again, man, I'm gonna fuck you up. Man, I was scared of moms and him at the same time, you know, so that never happened again. My point is, man, being hard-headed, man, it leads us to believe that we're untouchable. You know, there's nothing we can't do, say, or be. Man, that's wrong, man. You know, I love my mom's, man. You know, like I said, man, she passed away some years back. I was fortunate enough to come home and spend time with my moms, man. Not as much time as I wanted to, but I reflect on a whole lot that I've been through and a whole lot that moms went through with me. You know, I didn't understand back then that everything I was doing was impacting her. As much as it impacted me or anybody else I was calling myself doing harm to. My mom's never gave up, man. You know, that's the thing. That's the thing, man. A lot of us don't get about our mothers, man. They in this fight, they in this fray with us, right or wrong. But there's always lessons they impart to us. My mom's never stopped, man. She never stopped trying to, you know, make me better. You know, she never gave up on me, you know, trusting that one day I'd be a man. I'm happy to say that when I came home, man, you know, mom's, you know, we go to see her. We flew to Oklahoma and, you know, we cried together the whole night. And she appreciated the fact that I found, you know, hey, man, I'm proud of you doing the right thing. Here you are, you know. I ain't gonna never forget that, man. I can never forget that, man. But yeah, our mothers, man, they are the jewels, man. They are the jewels. Everything they done told us and taught us, man. I don't care what else we go through in life. If we really got them in our hearts, man, we love them like we say, we'll never forget nothing they told us. Nothing. And everything they told us was above board. You know, it was above board. I don't care what your mama was doing. She could be on alcohol, drugs, or whatever. Man, even those mothers, man, spitting jewels, was laying them at our feet. So, man, take care, man. Take care, man. When you know, you got a mother, man, still living, man, take care. That bond right there, like I said, you know, it's in the chat, man. It's unbreakable. This thing gonna live forever, you know? I don't know. Shit. I'll never forget Timmy for that though. And as a matter of fact, we became close back then. This was the 70s, you know. This was the 70s, man. So yeah, man. Yeah. Yeah, man. Justin's, I'm hoping I'm saying this right. Justin Sade says real life right here, man. Real life right here, bro. All right. We're not dispensing no BS, man. We want to talk about our mothers, okay? That's the topic. So I know I got memories, man. I can tell you stuff, man. Shoot. I mean, we with no food in the house, man. Mama would talk to us and we'd laugh and joke. We forgot we was home. You know, that's what mothers do, man. So if you got something you want to share with your mom, this for the chat, the World Group Congregation, man, drop it in the comments, man. Let's talk about that, man. Like I said, there's no other like a mother. And I mean that, man. You know, I love my wife to death, but I know, ooh, you bad, but you ain't like my mama. You right up there, though. Mother love, man. Ain't no other love like that, yo. Anyway, Fat Rat Playboy said, man, James Cass, if you don't believe you came from a good family, make sure your children do. This is why me and Fat Rat got to talk, man. We got to sit down. We need brothers to come to the show. Back to on point of the topic, what I'm saying before that, to come and dispense truth to power, man. You know, let's talk about our mothers, man. You know, let's talk about what they imparted to us, you know, how they raised us, because ain't none of us really was raised in a foul way by our mothers. You know, you could have been a foul dude in the streets, man, but moms, man, she's keeping it 100, man. We need to come and share this stuff, man, with these young brothers and sisters, man, who might have issues with their moms, you know, their mothers, man. You know, give them an understanding, man. Help them understand what a mother's role really is and how it plays a big part in the lives, you know. Whether you believe it now, down the line, it's going to hit home. Moms play a huge role in each and every one of our lives. I don't care, man, like I say, what she was doing. You're going to remember what she said, you know, in spite of what you're going to remember them lessons, man. So appreciate that, Fat Rat. He said, James, if you don't believe you came from a good family, make sure your family do. Lessons. Go ahead, man. James said, Fat Rat Playboy, I wouldn't say that. I take full responsibility and accountability for my wrongs. When I look back, I know I should have done better. But I appreciate you, my brother. I will make sure there it is. There it is. All right. Malik Spellman, 3323, another new one. What's going on? It's a good look. Malik Spellman, man, 3323, say, I love your podcast, bro. Get it going. Man, we love that you here, man. All right. And again, this ain't what we normally, or what a lot, or used to seeing on YouTube. We don't do that. This is what we get down with the get out, man. We focus on the focus, and that focus, it's about us, man, our people. Loving ourselves so that we can love brothers like yourself who come in this get out and say, hey, man, we appreciate that. We love you for saying that. All right. We need more brothers and sisters to come in here, kings and queens, gods and goddesses to come in here and say, hey, man, something's wrong with our family. Let's get it right. Let's get it right, man. And I'm telling y'all, man, one of the ways, I think one of the avenues to get back on point with what we're supposed to be on in terms of love, righteousness, and unities, we got to start relating, man. Go back to the source. Tap in with these sisters, our mothers, our aunts, our sisters, our wives, our girlfriends, man. There are lessons there, y'all. I'm telling y'all, man, they go through more shit than we recognize, that we, you know, that we acknowledge. And in spite of that, man, they still the ones, man, birth us and nurture us. You know, we need to have, you know, this thing set up to where, man, we start recognizing and paying homage to our queen mothers, man. You know, but hey, man, Malik Spellman, appreciate you. Let's get out, man, this podcast and the Royal Group congregation see you. And we're open like hell from this point on. You become a part of this family. Love and unity here, man. This is where we see no evil, we speak no evil, we hear no evil. Everything we try to do here, we do here is above board, it's straight. It ain't about nothing else, man, but us, our people. B1 equals black first. That's what we push here, man. So let's focus on the focus, getting this thing. You go on to say, LA Gang Wars, Peacemaker, Malik Spellman, Lucas, your show is straight real. Keep dropping jewels. Appreciate that, bro. Appreciate that. We do. Yeah, we got an issue. We got problems, man, in our community, especially with this gang stuff. That's just one aspect of it. The other, I think, is drug usage and addiction or whatever. You know what I mean? That's another. But before those two things, I think there's a lack of love in our community. You know, now what spurred this on or what pushes this? There's a lot we can point our finger at, or, you know, blame, even address. But we have to get to the point where we can start addressing it, you know, so that we can find where we're culpable. where we're responsible and should be accountable for everything that's going on in our community, in the Black community. All right. That's what we have to do, man. We have to start addressing this stuff. Again, we got brothers. I see a lot of stuff, man, where, yeah, brothers nowadays, man, yeah, there's no love and respect for mom. There's no love and respect for mom, man. And that's sad. There's some sad stuff, man. Brothers need to start lacing young brothers and sisters, in terms of, man, how we supposed to dispense love and respect. That should be first, man, to our mothers. Our fathers as well. Like I say, don't get me wrong, man. I'm not against fathers. I don't bash fathers, man, especially those who put in the work, But when it comes to our women, our mothers, we lacking, man. We lacking. And I say that because I'm pretty sure a lot of these young brothers that's in the streets, a lot of them might be runaways. I was one. I ran away because I didn't want to hear what moms was talking about. So I'm pretty sure a lot of these brothers that's hanging in the streets doing what they do are runaways, or have decided that they don't want to hear, what moms is kicking, the jewels she dropping, they don't want to pick them up because they might think it's weak. Or, it don't matter out here in the streets. Well, she's trying to tell you ain't supposed to be in the streets to begin with. We got to start addressing this stuff, y'all. We got to start talking to our brothers, man, about how they supposed to dispense love, how they supposed to know how to receive it so that they can give it back, man. Our brothers are caught up. When they caught up, man, it ain't just gangs, man. You got dudes gang banging ain't from a gang. It's something else going on that we have to tap into, that we have to help these young brothers acknowledge this. That's the problem, Let's have these conversations, man. So, hey, Malik Spellman, appreciate you, man. I'm going to read that again. LA Gang Wars. LA Gang Wars. Peacemaker Malik Spellman Lucas. Your show is straight real. Keep dropping jewels. We appreciate you, man, for that comment. We appreciate you even being on this platform tonight, and every Tuesday and Thursday, bro. It's touching bases with the people. That's what we do here, man. You didn't touch bases with us, and we appreciate it. We feel you. We recognize you, and we love you for it, all right? Stay. Keep coming back, all right? James said, man, I'm still single. One day, I will find my queen and fulfill the dream. That got me smiling. Because look, shoot. Don't even get me started, James. Don't even get me started on that right there, boy. Anyway, you say, I'm still single. One day, I will find my queen and fulfill the dream. But until then, I know what my mission is and what I've got to do for my people. The state of the future is on us right now. Truer words haven't been spoken tonight just yet. How we get down and touching bases with the people, we're going to get some most solid truth. But that is truth, man, and it's above board. So yeah, man, listen. When I met mine, man, I told I'm mine, man. And here's some truth. I'm getting to stuff, but here's some truth. The first woman I ever courted. And if a lot of y'all don't know what that means, then I'll explain it. I had to court her for weeks. Real spit, man. Now I don't know what she saw in me to make me, say, well, you know what? You're gonna have to jump through these loops to get me, because I don't know what she saw in me to make me do that, to even continue messing with me, you know what I mean? But I'll never forget it. And through our conversations, like I said, like I told you guys Tuesday and probably previous to that, I said, man, you're gonna be my wife, man. You're gonna be my wife one day, Now taking into consideration, I'm 21-year-old, man, fresh out of youth authority, you know what I mean? But she was, the jewel in my eye, you know what I mean? Now, understand, I was in the streets. Man. She'll tell you, I was in the streets. But she was my baby. This shit, I don't know, love at first sight. I'm not trying to be too romantic and shit, but that's what it was. And I knew it's gonna be no matter what I go through, no matter what she go through, this gonna be my baby, man. We gonna grow old together, you know. And we went through a lot of shit separately and together. Yeah, here we are. I'm saying that to say, James, be patient. Keep being the man you are, man. Watch. You're gonna come across the right one, or she gonna come across you. Just know that, man. That requires work as well. You might already know her. You may already know her. But any woman that you deem or you decide is going to be your queen, she's going to be the one, man, that's going to, let me reverse this. She's going to be the one to sweep you off your feet, But you got to be mindful, man. You got to know when it's the conversation. It's how you react to people and how you see them when you see them. Sometimes the conversation can be awkward. That's a sign. You know what I mean? And sometimes it could be when you see her, you ain't seen her in a week or a month, like you light up, she light up. You got to know the signs, man. But at the same time, know that it's still going to be a process. It's going to be a process, bro. I think every man has that one woman. Every man has that one woman. It took me and my wife to finally get together from 1985 to 2006. All right. 2006. I was doing a life sentence. I'm in prison, man. I ain't got a care in the world. And I'm not boasting or bragging. I'm not trying to glorify my behavior in there, but I'm going to share this with you guys. I'm in there, man. I'm getting visits. I had, females coming, hey, man, I'm all right. The car's all right up in there. We straight. We ain't got no issues in the little room. 4th of July, 2006. I'm talking to one of the loved ones. They're at Manchester Park on Saturday. We talking, hey, man, guess what just pulled up? Who? Man, quit playing, man. He ain't talking about all this shit. Michelle. I said, man, give her the phone. Just like that. Give her the phone. He didn't say nothing. He handed her the phone. She said, who is it? I say, fathead. What's going on? Automatically. Do you know we talked on the homie's phone for, I think the phone went dead. He said, hey, man, he's telling her, give me my phone. I'm telling him, don't give him that phone. Don't trip on the home. Don't worry about it. Phone going dead. She said, okay, well, call me. We talked from when he handed her that phone, I think we talked for 2 hours, probably more. And this is at a picnic, she ain't thinking about nobody else. I ain't thinking about nobody else. When he got his phone back, called her immediately, and we talked again all night. So from that day on, we just got boom, 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 boom. We're going back, we reminiscing, we talking about, our ups and downs. We're talking about what we have in common. We're talking about what we didn't have in common. We're talking about how I hurt her, how she hurt me, all these things, man. Weeks time, months time, 6 weeks. We knew. So everything I had going on, I'm like, okay, now, damn. Because she like, I ain't playing no games, fool. I ain't playing no games with you. Know how you get down there. I done heard. I said, all right, listen. I'll be on point, don't trip. I'm going to be on point, don't trip. And to make sure that happened, shit went all bad up in there for me. Oh, man. It went all bad. Everything, man. The whole foundation got wrecked, man. They come to get me. I'm in the hole. Blah, blah, blah. And it's funny how that shit worked out. I'm fresh out the hole immediately. I'm back on board. I got, and that's all she wrote. That's all she wrote. Me, during that time, from 2006 to, I have to say at least 2010, I'm steady trying to build myself up, be the man I knew I need to be, because she wasn't having no funnies, And there were times, probably sidetracked, and she, hey man, I heard about, like, no, hold on, man, that ain't happening. You know, I'm trying to work my way out that, you know, conundrum. It got to the point, man, where okay, man, you know, she's serious, and I love her, you know. So you may not have to go through that, and luckily you're here. It just makes it a better, you know, playground for you. You know what I mean? A court, so to speak, for you to get, you know, your thing on with whoever she may be. You'd rather be here than in there. That's a lot of work, you know. Out here, it's gonna be a lot of work because you want the right one. I heard what you're saying. Hey man, when you find her, you're gonna know. You know, when she find you, she's gonna know. And hopefully y'all, you know, y'all see eye to eye. You know, I'm thinking of a song right now. I swear when we hear this song, we both Stevie Wonder. Is it All I Do? I hope that you feel the same way too. Da, da, da. Is that All I Do? Ass? Is it ass? No, that's not ass. Here you go. Think how exciting it would be if you should discover you feel just like me. Is that All I Do, or is that? I don't know. But that song meant everything to us, you know what I mean? Because that's what we were with it. You know, we would, you know, I'm in prison doing life. She's out here, man, you know, with the family, you know, trying to keep everything together. And yet we seeing eye to eye. You know, we knew from way back then, but that's solidified. Your time is coming, bro. And that don't just go for you, that goes for other brothers who might be in the same boat as you in terms of, you know, wanting, you know, knowing, not just wanting, but knowing you need, you know, that other half to make you boom. You know, all I do, I told you. Huh? All right, anyway. Yeah, it's coming, bro. Just stay the course, man. Stay the course. Focus on the focus, James. It's coming. All right. And continue to be who you are. Continue to grow, man. Continue to grow. Malik Spellman said, man, young world, listen to this man. The book you read, he wrote. Damn. I was damn. That takes me back. I'm talking to my son one day. We're in prison. All right. He's my 7. And I'm just trying to tell him, like, look, man, I'm not the homie. You know, my boy, man, and you being here is just wrong. You know, I'm embarrassed. You know, I'm ashamed. Every time that door open and we walk out this cell together, man, I don't feel right. Not because of my ego, because you're my son and you supposed to be elevating the game, picking up where I left off at, but building, being greater, all legit. You know what I mean? But I used to tell him, I said, man, listen, what I'm telling you, they wrote no books on this yet. So they kind of remind me of what you said just now, Spellman. I'm telling me they ain't wrote no books on this here yet, man. You know what I'm telling you. And I'm just one dad of many who've said the same thing to their son. They don't have this in no books, man. You know, we writing a book on this right now. So yeah, man, read this shit. Listen to what we saying. Listen to what I'm telling you, man, because ain't no truth, ain't no greater truth than what I'm telling you. This ain't you. You know, this ain't you. But yeah, man, hey, I appreciate that, man. Young world, listen to this man. The book you read, he wrote. Appreciate that, bro. Lee Spellman going to say, your show be dropping jewels. Only a woman knows the pains of life are equal to the pains of life. Facts. We cannot, I'm telling you, y'all, man, brothers, we cannot comprehend the pain of mothers, the pain of your children's mothers, the pain of your sisters, your aunt, the pain of women. We do not comprehend that shit. We think we got it hard. Man, we ain't went through half of what they go through. Not even half of what they went through and what they will go through before it's all said and done on their chart. You know what I mean? So, hey, man, Malik, truth to power, bro. Truth to power. All right? Mothers are the portals of life. Yeah, man. Fat Rat Playboy, man, for sure love one huge groove history. Benno's, HIP, my domino spade partner, YTS. I won't get started. Man, when I hit YTS, Fat Rat, I hit YTS 1982. They kicked me out of Fred C. Nellis. Benno's, my homeboy Fish, Sammy, um, I think Trey Ball from Matrix Gangster, and maybe one more. But anyway, Queek was there from Matrix. Queek one told the homies I pulled up. I was a young cat. Man, do you know Benno's and Fish, they found out what sell that big ass bag, man, everything in it, and said, man, this is what it is, man. We love you, man, but this the program. Man, love, respect. Well, Fish, Fish was, I was a young cat. I caught one of my first cases with Sam back in the day, but man, from that point on, Fat Rat, Benno's has been a big bro to me. Love and respect, man. If he was on my neck about something, I would sit and listen. I wouldn't feel offended. I wouldn't feel disrespected or nothing. He would do it, and I'm pretty sure he would do it because I did something wrong. He lacing me, checking me. Yeah, I miss that brother, man. Rest in peace, man. Benno's, man. And shouts out to Fish, man. Sammy, man. Love you, big bro. Hope that you're well, man, and you're doing good, man. Last time I seen you doing exceptionally well. Can't wait to see you and talk about your growth, man. Your improvement, Never too late, y'all. Never. Yeah, Fat Red, real spit, bro. Malik Spellman, send if possible, tell my brother Johnny Lee, give my brother, if possible, tell my brother Johnny Lee my love, man. Will do. Man. Raymond Skull, 102, he said, greetings, bub. Hope all is great with you and your family. Respect and blessings to all of the brothers and queens in the group. And right back to you, Raymond Skull, man. Peace and blessings to you and your family, man, as well as the Rays, man. Hoping everything is above board and you brothers are straight, man. Sisters are straight. Yeah, we in this thing, Raymond. And Roscoe, we in this thing, man. You already know, man. We got to find a way to improve, the lives of our loved ones, as well as the lives of our loved ones, man. We got a whole lot of work to do, man. And I think just the fact of just on the face of you being here, that's the step. You're taking a step in the right direction. That go for all the brothers and sisters in this get out. We're taking the right steps, man, in the right direction. We got work to do, y'all. We got work to do. It's not missed that brothers coming in here, we talking about what we talking about, y'all. You know what I mean? It's not like, come on, man, this is very significant, I think, for brothers to come in here Tuesdays and Thursdays, man, and drop the jewels, man, pick them up, whatever, man. Dispense the love and respect, dignity. I was telling somebody the other day, man, I was sitting down with the sisters, man. So the podcast has become their table. They come and they meet here, once a month. And hey, man, y'all had to lay a land because, whatever the message is, the love is, you guys need to get out. This facility, you can facilitate. You can use this, man, to facilitate that, make it happen. I was telling these sisters, I said one thing, and I don't think the Royal Group congregation know that I know this, I recognize this, or that we all, as a group recognize and know this. We don't use the N word here. Y'all just think about that. We don't use the B word here. There's no disrespect to brothers and sisters here, man. I said, man, now go find me a podcast where even we have some platforms, man. They're about positivity. You know what I mean? Growth. Self-love and unity. Those sort of things. But I hear, I pay attention, man. I listen. The N word is just rife in the conversation. The B word, and just, like, damn, man. If this thing if whatever is supposed to be positive, then shouldn't it be considered that that's negative? How's that work? How's that work? I'm saying that to say, man, that I recognize something about this platform and the people in it that others may not. One of my loved ones called, what was that, last Thursday. And good brother, about the business in terms of seeing that the community is safe, you know, talk to the young ones, man, in terms of, hey man, this ain't it, you know, lacing them. Good brother. But through our conversation, he called while I'm doing the live. Yeah, man, this ninja, that, you know, just ninja, you know, but his message is pure, it's straight, but it's laced with the ninjas, you know, and you know, boom. Funny thing was, when I looked at when the recording went to YouTube, you could barely hear anything he's saying. And I swear to you, I said to myself, I said to my wife, I said to the sisters, that was the energy, that was the powers that be. Our ancestors decided that, you know, though the message was good, what he was talking about was straight. It wasn't meant to be heard. You know what I mean? On the get down, man. So I said, okay, man, I'm resolved. I gotta, you know, reach bro and say, bro, come on the show. But this time, you know, let's keep in mind, this is, you know, this is how the show is laid. This is what we do. I appreciate the fact that there's not a whole lot of that. There's none of that. Not one in the comments. Not one, if either word. Man, that means something, bro. You know, that means, man, we got brothers and sisters in here. Now, no matter, you might say it outside of this platform, but if you're not saying it on this platform, then I suggest that you start practicing not saying it outside the platform. It's a good look. You know, I'm saying that, say I appreciate it, man. I appreciate you brothers and sisters coming in here, man, and showing that respect, you know, to other brothers and sisters, to yourselves. So thanks for that, y'all. But again, hey, Raymond, hey, Roscoe, man, love to see you here, man. Appreciate you, bro. All right? Appreciate you. As I always say, man, I do. I love and respect. See, one day it said, washing the dishes, but I'm here. Getting it in. Getting it in. Okay, now, see, now you made me think of something else. I got to start washing dishes more often. But it's funny. All right. All right, yeah. All right, so to get them dishes like nice and clean, man, nice and clean. You might want to, after you wash them, get you a sink full of hot water and some vinegar. All right, that help get the bacteria and stuff really off of them and stuff. Yeah. Malik Spellman says, I had that extension cord, and I thank God for every ass whooping she ever gave me. She put the fear of God in me. Hey, man, when I tell y'all, I was scared of my mother, but I loved her. I ain't lying. I ain't lying. I would be scared in the streets to do something and get caught. Or at school, you know, even when I was going to junior high, she used to call my, I was scared of my mother, man. You know, because my mother, she would take that cord and she'd take it to my ass, man, in a fit of righteousness. You understand what I'm saying? She would whoop my ass, man. But all for the right reasons, you know. Like I say, it wasn't till later in life, you know, I'm in my yeah, I think I'm about 21 and starting to get it. I started to understand a whole lot about what Moms was trying to put before me and what she's trying to lace me with, you know. And my fear of her evaporated, and it became just, you know, just a greater love for my mom and understanding in terms of what she was trying to impart to me. So, you know, me and my mom, man, like I said, we talked about everything under the sun, man. And some, you know, some of our best conversations had to do about politics, our people, you know, religion, you know, things of that nature. So yeah, moms, man, give you a real ass whooping. Get them ass whoopings you don't forget. Could it be a welt that lasts about 20 years? You know, you get an ass whooping at 15, by the time you're 35, 40, that welt's still there. You remember why you got that welt, you know. See, one day it goes on to say, posted updates on my channel as requested, Uncle. Kiss Auntie for me, tell her I love her. Love to the cousins and all my brothers and sisters. Be one, one love. So we're gonna have to go and check your thing out, C1 Dad, and just so everybody know, huh? Yeah, post it. Yeah, post it in the chat, C1. Post in the chat the link if possible, okay? But anybody, anyway, everybody, C1 Dead is our sister, one of our queens. She's down in Australia, down in the deep, deep. She's, you know, she's loved by us, you know, loved and respected, man. She got a channel where she creates, you know, artwork, jewelry. You know, we want to put her out there and support her, right? So C1, when you get an opportunity, post that link for everybody who may want to go and see what you're doing, all right? We're going to try to build you up as we build ourselves up, all right? That's the business. We love you. Good to see you here. All right, how you been, bro? Al Thomas 3124 says some salutations, bub. Peace to you and the queen and every person in the royal group congregation. B1 equals black first, people. Listen, B1 equals black first, not bullshit first, black first. This is where, like I said, man, we keep everything above board, man. We're about love and unity here, man. Positivity, peace, prosperity, man. It's about us uplifting one another. This is the only way we're going to get to where we are, man. What we need to be is if we're supporting not just ourselves, man, but each other. All right. Ain't nobody else going to help us. We say this often enough, but we can't say it enough. No one is going to come and help us out of this situation. Us. It's just going to be us, y'all, to do the work. You know? So if they not like us, what did that mean? All right. So, hey, I appreciate that, man. B1 equals black first. And it's people over paper, y'all. Enough of these excuses, enough of all this stuff, man, that makes the situation in terms of what we go through as a people every day worse. Enough of that, man. Let's get on board with what we need to be on board with. Uplifting each other, man. You know, and again, you can't help me if you're not really striving to help yourself. We know the struggle's hard. You know, this is nothing new to us as a people. It's nothing new to us. You know, and it's not by mistake that we are still standing, that we continue to rise. We got work to do, y'all. Let's do it together. I'm telling you, because that's the only way we're going to succeed is together. Trust that. Appreciate you, Al, man. Hopefully you and Young King are well too. You ain't sent me no pictures or video lately, man. Him on that gridiron, man. Love to see him getting down. Love to see him getting down, man. All right, Justin and Day, man. Justin Sunday, man. Hey, man, our condolences, man. You know, like I say, that to lose your mother, man, that's a cold fraternity to be in. I mean, we've had her, you know, we've had our moms, man, all our lives, man. And, you know, a lot of us would think that it's only right in terms of the process of life. But still, man, losing a mother, man, there's no greater loss. You know, there's no greater loss. We send our condolences, bro. You know. And just by the way you talking, man, I'm pretty sure, man, your mom, she was all right woman, huh? You in this chat, man. You in this get down right here, man. She left you with something valuable, bro. It's in you, you know, not just on you, it's in you. You know, represent moms, man. Represent all the things you know moms pushed and was about. And that's what brothers are supposed to do, man, especially when it comes to our mothers, our wives, and our daughters. Represent, man. So our condolences, bro. Al said, man, Al Tom said, I'm about to start driving right now, so I'll be listening. Hey, man, be safe, all right? Safe journeys, man. Pay more attention to that than this, all right? We're here, man. So, yeah, just listen in. Queen Nzinga said, man, see one day, send my love. Put your link in the chat so everyone can tap in. Yep. All right, helping build communities. Is this a new one? Man, we on and popping today, y'all. Appreciate it. Helping build communities. Amen. Look, this is Under the Groove Podcast. You are touching bases with the people. This is what we do every Tuesday and Thursday night. We come in and we tap in with our people, man. B1 equals Black first. That's what we're about here. We're about us first. No, nothing else. All right. That should say enough. This is where we see no evil, speak no evil, and hear no evil. Everything here, like I said, is above board, man. We focus on the focus here, man, so that we can get down with the get out accordingly. All right. Your presence here, man, means a lot to us. We welcome you in here, man. We keep one thing we like to tell the people who come in for the first time one thing. It's about love and respect here, all right? That's it. We love and respect our brothers. Even if we disagree with a comment or a statement, we still exhibit love and respect, all right? It's okay to agree to disagree here, all right? Let's just do it respectfully. Hey, man, you're more than welcome, man. We welcome you. Peace and blessings to you and yours. You say, man, helping build community. Says, how do you feel about the Texas LA situation? Okay. One, we tend to try to stay away from mess, you know. However, I had an opinion. I had a thought about that. And I think that this is just more the same. It's a waste of brother's time. What good does it does anyone? How does it help the community in Texas? How does it help the community in LA? How does Kunta or Gumby benefit from any of this? How does HCG differ from HGC when they're both Hoovers? How does this do any good for anyone? Why are we wasting our time with this? How, well, not how, but do any of these brothers, any of these sets, these Hoover sets own anything they claiming? You know what I mean? Do they own the corner markets they hanging at? The smoke shop, you know, the strip malls? Do they own anything in there? You know, when they go to hang out and shit, you know, in the garage at the house, do they own that? How does this benefit them? How does it benefit us? You know, and we have these brothers, man, on these platforms, and they want followers. They want, you know, they want the clout. They want the subscriptions, you know. And again, I say to have that state of mind where, you know, you want all these people to follow you. Where you leading them to? What are you leading them to? How does any of what you're talking about help any of them pay a bill, buy food? You know, send a money order to a mother or a father, a homeboy or a homegirl in prison. You know, how does that help? So my opinion of that, my thought on that, it's a waste of time. It's just more the same. It's more the BS we see on YouTube. And it should stop. It needs to stop. It shouldn't stop. It needs to stop. You know, our objective, some of us anyway, not just this platform, but others, our objective, our goal is to turn social media on its ear. We want to do away with that, man. We want to see more of the positivity, man. We want to see more productivity in the community. We want to see more love amongst brothers and sisters. You know, we want to see more dignity and respect for self and others. We want to change the mindset, man. You know, we want to change the algorithm in YouTube to where we start to see less and less of that bull crap and more positivity, more unity, more love amongst our people. That's my take on that, bro. You know, these grown ass men, homie. These are grown ass men with families. This should not be what's on. No, man. Should not be partaking in that. That's frivol, man. You know, it's idiocy, man. It's a waste of time. It's immature. You know, and a lot of these brothers have the audacity to say, I'm a man. You know? Yeah. No, I don't agree with it. You know, I don't feel about it. I think that it's a shame, homie, that this is going on. Hoovers are Hoovers, you know. And at the same time, I'm saying that I say gang banging need to die so that brothers and sisters can live. That's just my take on it. That's not to say, hey man, kill off, dismantle, no longer have movements. That's a community, man. They have a long history, you know. But utilize that history, utilize that the fact that they're here in a different respect. Build up the community, man. Don't tear it down. Don't invite others to tear it down, kill it off. That goes for any community, Crip or blood. That's my thoughts on that, man. We're wasting time in lives, bro. We're wasting futures with bullshit. 2025. Okay? A lot of these brothers don't really know what's going on, but they'll tell you, oh, I know the world is. You know this and this what you're doing? You're going to have to take me because you mumbling. I can't hear that. You my moderator. You can speak. Huh? Okay. Now let me make my point. There she go, moderating. See, I don't know why. This moderator, she started to become a tyrant. Yeah, but that's my thought on that, bro. It's no good. That's what I think. It's no good. It serves nobody. It serves nobody. It don't even serve them, man. It really don't. But anyway, there that is, man. Appreciate the comment. Helping build communities. Help us to build communities, brother. Your namesake should be, man, it should be all about that. So appreciate that comment. Fat Rat said, man, I'll send you my number, Big Bub. I moved to Detroit 10 years ago. Hey, man, send that number, man. Tap in with the folks. Well, send the number, man, and I'll tap in with you. All right? We'll do it like that. Appreciate you, bro. And how's Detroit, by the way? What's going on with the brothers and sisters down there, man? How are the kings and queens living on them thrones down there? Is there a difference down there as opposed to down here? What are the fights that, they're going through? What are their experiences? Are they different? Are they the same? What is the objective with brothers and sisters down there? Are they conscious? I'm not too privy about Detroit politics and, the street life or gang life, excuse the terminologies, but, that's the truth. I'd like to know more about Detroit, like I would about other states and cities in those states, brother. So yeah, you sending me your line would be a big help. I can learn. Appreciate you though, Fat Rat. Queen Nzinga says, Al Thomas, how you doing, bro? Peace and blessing to you. Peace and blessing to you too, King. All right. All right, Hoover Snipe. Wow. I see you, bro. Good to see you here today or tonight, this evening. I'm hoping everything is everything and you're doing good, bro. All right. It's good to see you in the Get Down, man. As always, bro. I appreciate your love and support. Just know that. And that goes for everybody in this Get Down, man. And everybody in this Get Down should appreciate everybody's love and support. You guys are dropping comments. You don't look, it's everybody is getting something from everybody in this Get Down, man. And I think it's appreciated. So let's do what it do, y'all. All right, Snipe. I'll let me, bro. I'll come and say, there's no other like my mother. I speak with her on a regular basis and assist her as much as possible. There's no love like a mother's love. There it is. My brother just recently, and this is, you just said, there's no other like my mother. And it made me think of, who's that, the OJs or the Spinners? Always love my mama. She's my baby girl. That's, my wife loves that song. My oldest brother loves that song. My second oldest brother loves it. My brother out in Mexican love that song. I love that song. I'm telling you, that song actually, it pays a certain type of homage.
The Intruders sing that song.
Who?
The Intruders.
The Intruders, not the Spinners. Okay, thank you, baby. See? The Intruders. That's a cold cut, man. But that made me think about that song out when you said there's no other like my mother. You know, I speak with her on a regular basis and assist her as much as possible. There's no love like a mother's love. Truth to power, y'all. Truth to power. And I think that's something too, especially with brothers. We need to fall back and go, turn to moms. Your mom, if she's still with you, she's still here, turn to her, talk to her, get that wisdom, man. You know, we've been in the wilderness a long time. Society has found a way, man, to separate us, man, from those who love us most, man, from those, man, who can raise us and show us the right way. This is what society has done. This is intentional. These are intentional acts, man. These things are being done for that reason, to separate us, man, from that love and that influence. Because I'm telling you, nobody, you know, there's no greater influence of love than a mother's love and influence, you know? Yeah. I swear to God, it made me think about her when I first introduced you to her. She said, oh yeah, that's the right one. You better not lose her. All them other ones, they no good. Mom said, I'll never forget it. That's when I took you home for the first time. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, facts out. Facts. Fat Rat Man, he said, Fat Rat Playboy says to Malik Spellman, peace to the gods and earths. He appreciated what you said, young Spellman. Yeah. Peace to the gods and earth, bro. You spit facts, man. Yeah. I says, I'm good, Queen. Okay, I hope everything is well with you as well. Raymond Skull 102, man. He said, this is a great subject. My mother was silent. She was strong in many ways that taught me a lot. My mother was all of that. No exaggeration. We did have our issues, though. I carry this daily. But see, when you're talking about moms, I got to say that when you talk about your mama, man, most brothers, there's no exaggeration when you talking about your moms, man. You spitting truth to power, man, about moms and how she was, you know? And a lot of us, like you said, man, me, James, yourself, and others, we had issues with how moms laid it on us. You know, we didn't agree. You know, it wasn't that space where you can agree to disagree. You didn't have that choice or that option. It was her way or the highway. You know what I mean? But hey, man, truth to power, man. Moms, man, mothers are solid. There's no one more solid or concrete, down to earth than a mother. And though we might disagree, we might think that, oh man, I can't stand her. Oh, you know shit we've said before. It's moms, man. When that anger dissipates, man, whatever it is that you feel about me, man, that love for her, man, just swells, swells inside you, man. You miss your mama. You miss your mama more than you miss your wife sometimes. That's the truth, A lot of us long for just another hour, another day. The wisdom, man, was so great. The love was, man, I'm telling you, it was just fulfilling. Miss that, man. We carry with us, man, our mothers, man, the memories of our mothers, man. Be them here or not. Think about your mama, man. I know you think about your mother every day. I'm a mama do. I might not be able to pull up on it right now, but call her right quick. Mom, what's up? Oh, I was just thinking about you. What you doing? Come on, man. Ain't no love like a mother's love, man. That is no exaggeration. Real spit, man. James Cass said, man, besides every strong man is a strong woman, period. And how often have we heard this, A lot of us, we mistake it. We forget about moms being the first the very first strong woman in your life, just before your woman or your wife. Moms was beside you the whole time. Moms want to help build you up, give you that confidence, you know, that surety, you know. She was the one to help make you certain of whatever the case may be. Certain that she whoop your ass and still love you. Certain that she'll get your back even when you messed up. Besides every strong woman, besides every strong man, is a strong woman. And moms was the first. Trust that. Raymond Scholes said, man, my mother was great. Yeah. Yet she was haunted by her life's traumas, created a wrath within her that showed itself in abuse. For real, for real. I still reflect back to those moments that formed my rage at a young age. I have I can relate, you know, and I think I understood where my mother's anger, where a lot of it came from. You know, for a lot of our mothers, our sisters, our daughters, they end up, man, hooking up with the wrong people, the wrong men. And these people, these men, you know, they traumatize them. You know, they abuse them, they oppress them. You know, they try to, you know, douse their flames, man. You know, steal and sap their energy. You know, a lot of our mothers, man, our sisters and wives, man, you know, they didn't have um, an outlet, you know, outside of us sometimes. You get what I mean? You know, I used to get beatings. I couldn't understand how the hell that what I did warrant a beating like that. And again, I didn't understand it until later in life. Just reflecting, man, on this individual, man, that was, you know, abusing my moms, man, traumatized, whatever the case may have been. I think I made that connection. You know, my mom's anger towards me and abuse towards me, or what I would label or call abuse, wasn't because of me. You know what I mean? Mom was fighting, man, not demons of her own per se. She was fighting the devil. You know what I mean? And she just didn't know how to handle that shit, you know? And then me causing all the trouble and, you know, whatever, you know, boom, it just be released on me. You know, all that pent up anxiety and frustration, all that abuse. You know what I'm saying? I don't, you know, I know for a fact my moms love me, but I also know for a fact my moms endured shit that they, man, you know, I'd be dead, man. I'd be dead. I don't know. You know, shit I probably couldn't have endured, put it like that. So I hear you loud and clear, man. You know, I hear you, Raymond. I hear you. I forgave my mama, man, long time ago. You know, I forgave, you know, my mama a long time ago. You know, brother, I wish you well, man, with you and yours, man. Just your memory of her, man. You know. You know, just keep them memories, man, right. Keep them solid. You know, my mom's love, and I'm sure your mom's love outweighed all the shit we've been through with them. All right. Man. James Cass says, man, besides, okay, I read that. Yeah. Yeah. Khalifa Talk, what it do, loved one? Texas to the Bay, he says. Man, I love that, man. Texas to the Bay, man. Break down Hoover Groovers before Tookie. All right, from my understanding, I'm gonna do this because normally, so right quick, let me just make a quick let me announce something real quick. I intentionally moved away from gang history and stuff. I did that on purpose. All right. This is how the podcast started, talking about Hoover history, and in that course, or in the course of that, I sat down with a lot of stuck down dudes, man. Geez, that started this stuff. So the understanding I have is this, man. Hoover Groovers, man, was not a part of the Hoover Crips, plain and simple. They were just, a group of guys who, had cars and stuff like that, hustler player types. You know what I mean? Hoover Crips did not derive from, or their inception did not come from the Hoover Groovers. All right. The Hoover Crips had nothing in common with the Hoover Groovers when the inception of Hoover Crips began. Hoover Joe and his cohorts, those brothers who were there day one, they came up with this themselves. After being in previous gang, in another gang, they got tired of whatever was going over there that wasn't right. They saw or they thought was not right and started their own thing, the Hoovers, all right, the Hoover Crips on 74th and Hoover. The Hoover Groovers again was just, some hustler player type brothers, in the cars and stuff like that. Say again? Huh?
They still their type of Groovers.
Yeah. Okay, but yeah, that's what happened. Hoovers didn't come from them. Hoover Groovers, we adopted that. We adopted that because it fit, the moniker, the slang, the phrase, the slogan fit Hoover. It fit Hoover Crips. And there was another, disrespectful connotation added to that, or phrase added to that, Hoover Groover, so they began, the homies began using Hoover Groovers, not in association with the term Hoover Groovers from back before the Hoover Crips started. All right. I hope that's enough. I hope that, enlightens you a little bit, but yeah, the Hoovers did not start. Hoover Crips did not start from Hoover Groovers. The Hoover Groovers slogan or term was something we did adopt, though, and we used it for a minute, See one day and say, yes, Auntie, I will. Sending you love, moving to the PC. James said, I got you, bub. I'm focused on my get out. I'm pretty sure you are, brother. Stay doing what you're doing. Stay the course, as TS would say. And let's mean it, though. Let's stay the course, y'all. All right. Helping build communities. He says, speak to the youth, big bub. I like your handle. Helping build communities. We got to rebuild our community, y'all. We have to divert the attention of the community, or those in the community, from this gang culture, right? We have to deviate from that, or get them to deviate from that course, get off of that, man, because there's no future in it. I don't care where any of young brothers or sisters are from, these young men and women. I don't care where you from, man. There's no win in this shit, man. I ain't the only one who could tell you this. Got thousands upon thousands of brothers who can tell you this. My hope is that they be willing enough to, man, tell the young brothers, man, this shit is a trap. It has no future. Not a productive one. Not a positive one. Not a prosperous one. It has no future that involves or concerns love for self. And we hear it all the time, man. I love me, I love the set. No, that's not the truth. You hear it from a brother that's going to tell you the truth. Didn't love myself, didn't love my community. I love myself. Look what I did to it. You do not destroy or tear down something you love. You build upon it. You build it up. You make it better. You make it even greater. You make that love more profound. You know what I mean? I mean, you put love in it, on it so much so to where you can leave and come back and that it's still there. You know, it's flourishing. Gang banging does not offer that to the community. As a gang banger, you do not offer that to those who live in your community. If you love your set, man, you want to build it up, man. You want to make sure it's prosperous, make sure it's safe, productive, and positive. You want the brothers and sisters, young ones coming up in there, man, to know that they have a future doing something great. You don't want them to mimic, copy, follow in your footsteps, man. Especially when you know, man, those footsteps are leading to your downfall, be it in death or prison. Young brothers and sisters, man, you young men and women have to understand that if you're on this road, man, you are only making reservations for two things, for two places. That's either through the penitentiary, to the graveyard. Some escape it, but look at their lives. Are they prosperous? You see them on the set every day. They're alcoholics, they're drug addicts, you know, they're in and out of jail, you know, doing what they call wino time. You know, they're not productive, don't own anything, you know, aren't lacing the youth with positive thoughts, positive affirmations, you know, helping giving them self-confidence, building them up so that maybe one day they can be the ones to bring change to the community. You know, look, there's no win in it, man. None. None. You're going to end up doing life in prison or dead. You love your set, build it up. Make it worthy of being a household name in a good sense, in a proper respect. You did? That corner you hang on, you know, at that little junior market or that strip mall, brothers get together and decide to buy it and utilize it for the community's well-being and safety. That's loving yourself. That house for sale, you know, y'all go and buying all these big chains and all this, you know, fake jewelry. It ain't, anyway, that's an investment, man, towards profit. Give your young homies, man, a place to hang out where it's safe. Give them certain rules and regulations, certain structure, so that the community now becomes safe. The community start, you know, when they know they're safe, they look out for you, support you because they see that you're doing the right thing. They don't see you just hanging out in front of their houses, throwing down your beer bottles and your liquor bottles and your blunt wrappers. You know, just bringing down the property value. You love your set. Do right by your set, man. Do right by yourself first, so that you're able to do right by your set. You can't help your set if you're not right. If you're not set, you did. Brothers don't own nothing. Brothers and sisters on these sets, these streets, don't own nothing. Don't own nothing. But, you know, don't get me wrong. There might be a few smoke shops here and there. You know, mini markets, or you can't even call them mini markets. You know, got a few items in there. You know, listen, man. You want to do right by yourself. You want to represent yourself. Own it. That's the only real way to represent it, man. Is to own it. is to own it. Not just the businesses in the vicinity or on the location, but the homes. You know, that's how you rep, man. You know, that's how you rep. Because right now, ain't nobody running nothing. Don't nobody own nothing. Don't nobody even have anything, man. You know, some dudes got cars, like I say, a little jewelry, they flashy there. A waste. And it's a waste for young brothers and sisters to be on the streets, you know, acting the way they act, man. It's a waste of their future. It's a waste of their life, waste of their time. All right. Yeah, that is. And I'm not saying we aren't saying anything new on this platform. We've been saying it, we're going to keep saying it. You know, you want to do right by yourself and by your set, own it. Take care of it. Don't tear it down. Don't destroy it. Don't bring destruction to it. Do right by your set. You won't see the police on it. They have no reason to be there. Do right by your set. You won't see other cats coming through with BS because they see y'all trying to do something. Guess what? They're going to want to copy that too. They over there eating. Well, what they doing? Man, they both did. You know, you want to follow something. You want to copy and mimic something. And that's a script blueprint right there. Productivity. All right. You love your set so much. On the dead homies, take care of it. Build it up. Pope, what it do, bro? All right, I see you, Pope Mitchell Podcast TV. This is the loved one. Hey, man, peace and blessings to you, brother. How you been? You say I just got in. Shout out to my big bro, Bub, at UTG. Focus on the focus so that we can get down with this. Get down, y'all. It's going to take focus. You can't get down with this if you don't know what you're focusing on. Somebody asked me last week, what do you mean? Focus on the focus. The loved one. He said, what do you mean focus on the focus? Hey, man, this is how the mind works. It's no different than, excuse me, somebody doing, let's say, here's your focus. This is how focus works. Let's say you done 10 hours of work. You can't wait to get off. Well, your focus is wait to get off work so you can go smoke a blunt or get you a drink. That's a focus, right? Here's another aspect of it. I want to focus on improving not just my life, but the lives of those around me. How do I do that? What do I need to do? What do I need to focus on in order to get this thing going? Do I need to get myself right? Well, if I'm right, then who do I need to help? Who do I support to get right? See, the focus is many things. The focus could be negative. It could be positive. We're talking about a positive focus. We're talking about focusing on ourselves so that we can focus on our community. We want to make ourselves better so we can make the community better. So when you focus on that focus or any focus in respect to positivity, productivity, well, look, hold on. When you focus on the love, you know, self first, it's not hard, man, to focus on love for others. When you focus on positivity, it's not hard, man, to start, you know, conducting yourself in a positive manner. When you focusing on unity, you know, it's not hard, man, to see a brother say, man, I want to unify. How you doing, brother? You know, you start breaking the ice and shit. You start communicating. When it's about the focus and it's positive, that's the focus. You focus on what matters, man. What matters, not just to you. And that's also part of the focus. Ain't none of us gonna get nothing done by ourselves, man. So we have to focus on how to get other brothers and sisters to, you know, be on the same wavelength, the same plane. You know, what Stevie said, think about how exciting if it would be if you should discover you feel like me. That's the focus, man. And with that, man, you're able to get down with whatever the get down is, man. And it's above board. Come on, man. That's the focus, man. So, hey, man, appreciate that, Poe. Let's focus on the focus. Let's get it together, y'all. Helping build community, said, man, late 70s and early 80s moms, a lot of them became cocaine addicts. That's where the respect was lost. True that. Now, I have to, let me inject in that comment because that's true. Believe it or not, there were some mothers who were addicts. But you know what? They were still mothers. They were still mothers. And in spite of whatever their addiction was, it could have been alcohol, cocaine, heroin, whatever, they were still mothers. And even in their drug-induced addiction, the highs or whatever the case may be, a lot of these mothers, man, still held on to the fact that, yeah, okay, I'm getting out, but I got these kids, you know? Truth be told, bro, 70s and 80s did that. And a lot of children, yeah, lost respect for him. I have a co-worker at work. His dad's an alcoholic, man. I mean, stumped down. And I talk to the dude, we talk every day, and you can see the frustration and the anger and loves that. But you see also the lack of respect that's starting to develop. So we were doing something, man, in the warehouse, and he was speaking. And I said, yeah, man, but still your dad, man. No matter what he does, it might not sound like that makes sense to a lot of people, but those are facts. See, now this is the time then, for those who are able and capable to, hey, man, come to the support of these, this parent. Still your dad, man. My mama also used to say, I don't give a damn what I do. If I run out in the street butthole naked, you better run out there and bring me some clothes. I didn't get it then, but I get it. I get it now. No matter what, that's still my mom. I have enough love and respect for her, no matter what she's going through, man. Still have love and respect for her. Might not agree with it, but that's, those are facts. Still your mama, man. It's still your dad, So, but you got a good point, helping build communities. That's true. That's where a lot of respect for children came into play with parents. These vices, like I said, be it alcohol, cocaine, or heroin, and then in other vices. You know what I mean? Other vices. But hey, man, I get it, bro. I get it. Raymond Skull said my mother was solid from these streets and was us. Tupac's Dear Mama best describes her character. Tell the truth, bro. I get emotional when I listen to that song. And just so everybody knows, Tupac is my #1 rap artist. All right. My family get tired. We have family gatherings, and they like, come on, man. They'll be like, Papa, come on, Big Trav, Bud, Pop. Why do you keep playing all Tupac? Man, because, man, no matter what brother had a message. And I trusted him. I trusted he knew what he was talking about, man. And I love the way he puts it out there, But yeah, anyway, Tupac's Dear Mama would best describes her character. Excuse me, Ray, I'm gonna read that over. My mother was solid from these streets and was us. Tupac's Dear Mama best describes her character. I love my mother, but I held resentments from those situations. She was strong and aggressive. I know somebody, man, that would tell you the same thing. Loved her mom. No matter what, mom, may messing up, going through some shit. Loved her mom. Mom was aggressive and still strong in spite of, I just, You know, I'm like the rest of y'all, man. In spite of, I love my moms, man. Used to beat the skin off me, you know. Used to beat the skin off me, man. All right. I mean, I know I was in trouble, and I go crying to my brothers, man, please, it could be something in the house where they take this whooping from me, man. You know, I get beaten. Y'all might get a little whip, but I get like, nah, no, we ain't taking that whooping, bro. That's all yours. But moms used to, and I thought I resented that shit. I did, you know, I did, man. And again, like I said, I think for me, I understand why now, you know. It took me my whole adult life to put my finger on it, you know. So I have more resentment, not for my mother, than I do for, uh the guy that was in her life, you know. You know. But yeah, man, I hear you, Raymond, man. This mama, man. That right, Playboy, yeah, that's the name of the song, All I Do. We're gonna play that on the way home. My baby, man. Yeah. See, one day is asked for Queen Nzinga. Lisa Moore, 5'3", how you doing? All right, all right, all right. Better late than never, sister. Peace and blessings to you and yours. Hopefully everything is everything and above board where you are, all right? Again, and I say this to the Royal Group congregation, every day above ground, man, is being above board, man. It's a grand rising, you know? We should always just keep in mind that if you're able to get out of bed 10 toes down, man, you're in the game. You in the game, you know? You in the game because, facts are, might have been 100,000 people, maybe 1 million, weren't able to. You're in a position, man, to do better, to do more than you did the day previous, man. So that's when I say, that's why I say, when I say grand rising, it means that, man, you have this opportunity, man, to be royalty again, to elevate, man. Yeah. Shit, to go out, man, and see somebody and say, hey, give him that there. What's up, Black? How you doing, brother? How's your day, sister? You're in a position, man, to get somebody, man, a smile, understanding that they not in this shit by themselves. You see them with me too, man. I'm in this shit too, So, hey, man, Lisa Moore, it's good to see you, sister. Like I said, grand rising. Helping build community, say, damn, Bub, how much time? Damn, Bub, how much your time plus CDC time did you do? I'm gonna tell you, man. In fact, I'm ashamed. I'm embarrassed about how I wasted my life, bro. So I did a life sentence. From 92 to 2016. All right. 93, 2016. Before that, all right, let me put you like this. By the time I reached 14, I was in jail. All right. From the time 14 to the time I caught the life sentence, the most time I was on the streets was 1.5 years. And that was right before I caught the life sentence. 1.5 years. From the time I was 14 to the time before I caught the life sentence, county camp, with juvenile hall, county camp, CYA, prison. I did my first prison stint in 86. I maxed out a YTS at 21. At the age of 21, went right to prison less than a year later. Less than a year later. All right. And that was just, I don't know, I'm playing with guns a lot. Feel like that. I got lucky. Got out after 16 months. 1988, went right back to jail. Was fighting life. I got lucky. I was fortunate. I didn't get lucky. I was fortunate. It's just that at that time, the energy, the atmosphere, the cosmos didn't deem it. It wasn't, not yet. For that, I was offered 15 in life. I fought it. I ended up getting 8 years for ADW. Got it drawn down to an ADW, assault with a deadly weapon. Didn't learn my lesson. Came home 1991. Stayed home 56 days. 91. Yep, 56 days. We were living in Norwalk. Stayed home 56 days. Got a violation for guns, whatever. Got out in 92. Year and a half later, the power to the be, the energy, the ancestors say, okay, enough. Go and sit down. Go and sit down. And then I'm gonna tell you what's even worse. My hard-headed ass, they coming off of me a deal for 16 years. And everybody that loved me said, hey man, take that deal. You dead bang, take the deal. Man, fuck that, I ain't taking no deal. This is what prison and just being in the streets put in my head. I can beat this thing out. Yeah. Found guilty. Every juror found me guilty. Gave me life plus 16 years. All right. I had to go sit down, man. My whole life. Lost loved ones while I sat in there. Things were happening to my family. I couldn't help them. Just all kind of stuff was going on. And there was a time I felt like, all right, I'm tired. I'm ready to leave. You know what I mean? I was ready to go. Some clicked. Something clicked. And that's all right, man. I started telling the homies, look, man, I'm finna get out of here. I don't want to be in here. I don't want to die in here. Man, you crazy. You'll see foul this thick. You ain't going nowhere. Yeah. Was telling my wife, he playing you, right? He ain't never coming home. He playing you, right? So come get with me, They didn't believe me, I even had some homies laugh. You crazy. That's all right. But I'm telling y'all right now, don't get into it with no brothers. Don't get into it with no brothers. They get that line, Ryopis and the Mandas. All bets off. Boom, I'm there. Y'all get into it with some brothers, I'm proning out. I'm telling y'all right now. That's the yard that time. I'm letting them know. I gotta get out of here, home. Because I don't want to die in here. I got shot down at board 5 times. The sixth time they decided, they said, okay, you did all the work, you every course, you good. The last time I had a write-up, and this is what's odd, was 8 years before they decided to throw me. They don't normally do that. You know what I mean? You got to go at least 10 clean.
You had 1,000 points.
You had
1,000 points.
Oh, and my points. I rolled from level 4. I only had been on level 4. It's never been a level 3 or 2. I rolled from a level 4 with 130 something points. And this is after years trying to work my points down. Because in my mind, I want to go level 3 because I want to see, I'm gonna chill. It wasn't designed for me to leave level 4. I paroled from a level 4, the second lifer to parole from that yard, from Calipat C yard. And the homie football, who was it? It was football, and there was somebody else was waiting at the gate when I came from board. And I tried to play like, thinking, man, they shot me down again. All sad. Football looked at me, little football looked at me and said, man, he lying, man. They gave him a day. I started laughing and man, shit, everybody was happy. Everybody was happy, man. They paroled me, but they said, and I agree with them, they said, man, we trust you, ain't ever coming back to prison. I looked at them and said, yeah, you're right. I'm done. I'm done. So I say all that to say, man, most of my life, I'm 61, bro. All right. 2/3 of my life, I've been in jail. Do the math. Do the math. I'm 61. All right. It took me over 40 years to get it straight, bro, of incarceration. I've spent more time in prison than I have on streets. Sad shit. Some sad shit, on. But here I am, Rose above that shit, here I am. The same homies that was in there saying I'm gonna get out there couldn't believe it. I didn't have to, what they call it, debrief, none of that. I was actually one parole board tried to make me, well, we're not gonna release you till you debrief. Debrief what? I'm not part of no prison gang. I'm from Overstreet, and they were like, no, deny, it was a shock to a lot of them, like, this motherfucker, he actually got out. Brothers shed tears. And I think not because they were sad to see me leave, they were happy to see me leave, on top of the fact that I made it possible for them to believe that they can leave. My brothers left. I had compiled this thing, man, this folder, it's bigger than my C file, bro. Everything I've done. And I read copies of it. I gave it to all the brothers. Blood didn't matter. Man, y'all follow the script. Because I got the script from my G homie. Hank sent me the script. Stoney, rest in peace, sent me the script. Baby Shady sent me his script. Brothers was lacing me. Al, man, the homie Capone sent me his script. I ran copies and I sent it to the homies. I gave it to brother. My boy, man, Young Sad, man, 6 Deuce East Coast, man. That's my dude on the yard. Gave it to him. My boy Marcus, Railhead, gave it to him. Gave it to the homie Goose. I gave it to brothers, man, like, here, man. Get that out of here. I'm telling you, it was enough inspiration or inspired enough individuals. Brothers like, hey, man, I'm getting calls. Hey, man, I got to date. I'm like, you serious? Like, yeah, all right, bro. Don't get out of that bullshit. Come on, do what you're supposed to do. And that's what brothers been on. But yeah, 2/3 of my life been incarcerated. Over 40 years. Think about that. So yeah, I hope that answers your question, bro. This is why I get down the way I get down now, because I know that, man, I wasted time. My people died while I was in here, man, that I love. That I think that had I been there, I could have helped them. Then I think on the other hand, I got away with so much shit that I thought that, well, they got me fine with, but in my mind was the least, and it was the one that, boom, took me away. forever, so to speak. That's the way it was designed to be, you know. That happened for a reason. It had to happen like that. Because that or be dead, you know. So that it is, man. That it is. Pope Mental, man, he said, man, and to all the great brothers and sisters, keep touching bases with the people. Note to a keen ear, great things are done not by impulse, but by all the small things that are brought together. Man, appreciate that, Pope. Appreciate that. And we had that saying, we had that conversation, Pope, that nothing big or great starts big or great. Just, you know, boom. It all starts small, y'all. It all starts small and it builds into something big or great, you know, from a molehill to a mountain. You know what I mean? Need some more blessings, big bro. Peace and love to the kings and queens in the chat. B1 equals Black First. Thank you, Lisa Moore. Yes, yes. Yes, hit that like button. All right, that share button. Share, man, and comment. Like and share, y'all. Subscribe for those who are new to this Get Out if you see fit. This thing is about us. This ain't about me. This is not about Bub, all right? Like I said, when I started this podcast, I started it with the idea to tell the Hoover story, the history. And that came because Kev Mack had did this expose on about 3 or 4 of our loved ones. And in our minds at the time, that was without us sanctioning in it. He didn't get our okay. And that's what started this podcast. However, when I started it, me and my wife also knew, wait, I can't be in this like that, you know. It gotta be about, you know, the people. We gotta make this, you know, something bigger than Hoover. It's always been the idea. And this is why I always tell people, go back to the very first episode when I'm just spitting shit, you know, about set, but I'm saying we're gonna change social media. And I didn't mean we're gonna change it for Hoover's sake. We're gonna change it for the people. But this shit is poison, man. And as you know, this thing began to get a little traction, I said, okay, now I have to change this Get Down. You know, for those who know, this thing used to have the Hoover fingers on it and everything. You know, I used to have brothers up here talking, you know, Hoover history and games and stuff. We don't do that no more. You know, to what end would we keep doing that? That don't help the community. It don't help other community. It don't help the people. Our goal, man, is to help the people. It's bigger than Hoover, man. It's bigger than all them sets. All right? So here we are. And we continue to rise, man. You know, and with the love and support of everybody, this thing's gonna do what it's supposed to do. You know? That's how I see it, man. So I appreciate everybody, man. I appreciate y'all more than y'all appreciate me. You know? Raymond Skull, man, he said, man, my mother was special because she always had my back, gave me wisdom, and was just solid. I appreciate having my mother, as my mother in this lifetime, as you should, bro. That go for each and every one of us, man. Gotta appreciate it, man. You know, sometimes we think moms just, you know, hey, okay, be careful. You know, that's just what it is, man. Little Trey Ball, ETGC, TIP, man. Yeah, real spit, bro. Fat Rat, that was from Fat Rat. Pope Mitchell first. Pope Mitchell podcast, TV says, man, Fat Rat Playboy, hit me with a good word, OG. Love you, bro. Yeah. Little Trey Ball, ETGC, TIP. All right. Fat Rat going to say, man, that the Barbarian, he mastered that electrical trade in 500 trade. Stayed on the homies with love, with real love and concern. Yeah, well, you talking about back in TS in the back, huh? Yeah, I had carpentry, man. I was back there with Bean from East Coast, Black from East Coast, shit. Me, my homeboy Crazy J, Snoop, Little Devil. I was in carpentry down, ended up going to welding over there. You know, yeah, TS was a trip too, man. TS was a trip too. Fat Rat says, at Poke Mitchell Podcast TV, that's mother's work, Big Bub. Own it, home. Yeah, real spit, bro. Poke says, man, one of the things that hurt me the most, Fat Rat, was when I was in the pen and had to deal with not seeing my grandma anymore, who was the woman in my life, 100. And that was one of my fears, Poke. You know, I knew my mom was getting old, man, you know. And yeah, it's crazy, man. There were two women that wrote me religiously. That's my wife and my mama. You know, I mean, for real, man. And my thoughts was, okay, I gotta get the hell out of here, man. My mom's, man, I need to be with my mom's. And you know, I was blessed, man. The ancestors blessed me, man, so I can get home to my mom's, man. See, one day it says, same at Pope Mitchell Podcast TV. My grandmother was my one and only. She was the only reason I was pleasant with my mother when she passed. I didn't feel the same connection. Yeah, it'd be like that. And my grandmother, man, that was, yeah. My grandmother was no joke, man. I love the hell out of my grandmother. Man, I'm reading James stuff. James said, I got beat with them belts, shoes, 2x4s, broomsticks, and frying pans. You name it, big homie. Man, I caught myself running away. And my grandmother and mother pulled up on the set, man. And the homies would tell the story of the day. They kicked in the shack door. My grandmother had the rifle. And send my grandbabies out here. So me and Meskin, the homies mad, like, y'all ain't Obama didn't know where to spot it in the shack. So, you know, I ran away. Meskin was just hanging. That's what we do. So my grandmother took me home with her. I'm thinking, okay, man, because grandma loved me, man. Look out for me, made me pies, everything I like. Soon we get in the front door. She shut the front door, locked it. You know, I wasn't tripping, you know, I'm walking in. And she had this little bureau, this little desk right by the door. I heard her pull it open and grab some out there. And I turned my sheet in the head with a hand. Bang! I'm like, damn. I'm like, hey, Mama Teresa, you tripping? You said, but boy, if you ever get out of line, disrespect your mama, anything, I'm going to tell your ass up, man. She been here if that happened, man. I knew she wasn't playing. Yeah, man. With everything. I got hit with everything as well, James. Everything. That's what they did. Black mothers and grandmothers did not play, man. Al Thomas said mothers and fathers are your true gods up until you're introduced to someone else's. My mother is my loving God. My father is my God in the spiritual realm. There you go. Yeah. We had the sister Cinda on the show, and she mentioned that as well, that our mothers, our parents are little gods, you know. They are little gods, you know. And that made sense when she said that. So it hits home with what you're saying here, Al. I appreciate that. Farrah said, man, that bond transcends the physical, truly. I'm telling you, I still talk to my mama this day, man. Truly. They're alive and well in us, and we should never speak of them as dead because such thoughts lead to their death in us. Hashtag life. That's right. We speak them to death. And in other words, we look at it like that, speak about it like that, their memories die in us. I get it. I think I understand that fully. I still talk to my mama today. You know, when my warden getting credit, I said, damn, mom, I'm like, boy, shows you call her. But yeah, man, real spit. All right, what's this? I guess it's C Daddy 1969. Hey man, welcome to the podcast, brother. This is Under Groove Podcast, and you are touching bases with the people, man. Peace and blessings to you and yours. You are more than welcome to be here, man. Love, respect, man, is the thing here. That's it. That's all, man. Love and respect, all right? Appreciate you in here. Appreciate you dropping a comment. I'm going to read it now. It says, was it a specific incident or incidents that brought you back home to your upbringing in Black unity or was it just you maturing? It was a little bit of both. I shared a story that my mother was a Black Panther. And she would her chapter, she held all the meetings for the women in her chapter at her home, you know. And so I was getting, I was getting schooled about the police and all this, black power, da 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 da. So, we were raised in a house, about blackness, you know what I mean? So this is why I say when it came to me and my brother gangbang, my mother was she had this about that, like, how y'all doing this? Why y'all doing this? This don't make sense, There was that. So we were raised, to understand blackness and black power, black unity, black love, those things. Now couple that with the fact that as I got older, as I started to understand that, a lot of stuff I was doing, man, was wrong. It started to really change a whole lot in terms of how I saw other brothers. And, truth to power, a lot of brothers can tell you guys if y'all talk to them. Salinas Valley was a hot spot. It was the hottest joint, the deadliest joint at the time. I was there, from like 96, 97 to about when I got transferred from there to California, about 2010. In alcohol, all that shit. I did a shoe over there as well. But anyway, I started to make, I became just a lot more conscious. Like I said, I already had the upbringing. And this when everybody knew I wasn't with no funnies, you know what I mean? I wasn't no set tripping shit no more, none of that. I decked my whole cell up with red, black, and green. You know what I mean? I had the BLACKFIRST on my wall, surrounded by red, black, and green. The pigs hated it. All my shit, I had our martyrs, our icons, our leaders, scum down soldier, warrior types on my wall, They hated it, man. You come by, hey, man, you got to take that down. You can't have it up. Yeah, all right, we'll put it right back up. But that's when, I say, man, shit, we got to change shit, So I dealt with everybody, especially when it came to brothers. I didn't care where you was from, about respect, And most brothers, any brother I messed with would tell you that, I had the same love for them as I would my homies. If I knew they didn't have nothing, they mean, ego, bro, don't trip, that's just what it was. So yeah, it was upbringing as well as my maturing, or me growing. You know what I mean? That brought me to this. I used to tell the wife, man, I can't wait to come home. Because I wanted to do something different. I wanted to. We talked about the podcast. We talked about what kind of podcast, what would I do? But what propelled me, or prompted me to do the podcast was Kev Mack when he did the thing on the Hoovers. But I had homies when I came home. I swear, man, they thought I was about to be in the streets with the funnies again. Man, nah, ain't no way, homie. That shit wrong. I ain't doing that no more. I'm done with that. I'm always be from Hoover, but I ain't with none of that. And that's where it's been. So it's a little bit of both, bro. I appreciate the comment though, C Daddy 1969. Yeah. Like I said, it was the upbringing one. My mother was a Panther, I met a lot of Panther brothers and sisters, you know what I'm saying? In fact, we had a Panther meeting. One particular, they shut it, man, they hit our house, man, like 5, 6 police cars. And we was fighting in the yard with the police. I was a kid, man. I was probably like 10, maybe 10, 11, fighting with the police, My whole family, all the Panther sisters, mothers, man, we was getting it on. But that was one incident I remember it, I'm like, please, they don't like blacks, da, da, da. And then there was just the fact that, I started to see shit differently in prison. I can't pinpoint no specific incident that made me say, that's it, enough is enough. You know what I mean? It could have been after an incident with some brothers, actually. And, I didn't feel, no kind of weight, but I didn't feel good about it, So that's what changed it for me, bro. That's what changed it for me. Yeah, man. Appreciate your question, C. Diddy, man. All right. You take care, man. This is Under the Groove, touching base with the people. Like, share, and comment, man. Subscribe if you see fit, man. But here, like I said, man, we focus on the focus. We get down with the get down. Everything is above board here. It's about love, unity, and respect, man. It's about us tapping in one another, trying to reach one another, touching bases, and talk about those things that affect us similarly. We all go through the same shit. We all are experiencing the same shit in this life. It's high time, man, we get it together, man. Bring something different to the table for our people. That's what this thing is about, all right? So I appreciate you, bro. Peace and blessings to you and yours. Hope Mitchell, man, he said, my grandma raised me. Real support go a long way. It's a spiritual connection that doesn't need anything but love, which puts you on that lifeline of progress. All right, man. Fat Rat says, Black consciousness began here. The NOI started here, so it's Mecca for me. Home ownership is incredibly easy, and our work is to make it safe and decent. There you go. I remember, man, reading how Detroit had had a whole lot of communities that were dilapidated. You know, the homes and stuff. You know, just unsellable, and I mean, whole neighborhoods and stuff. It made me think about New York back in the days where they had whole areas or apartment buildings and tenements, all dilapidated, tore down. Heroin addicts lived in them. That's, you know, that's what that reminded me of, man. I don't know, again, like I said, Farad, what the situation is down there, but I would like to know, man. I would like to know what's going on with our brothers and sisters down there, you know, and how you guys are trying to make it better or to change, you know what I'm saying? Not just the lifestyle or the culture, but to change, you know, the lives of Black people in such a way where they can talk about home ownership, you know, in the realest way, man, or opening businesses and things of that nature. So I appreciate you being here, man, because I think that's going to give us an opportunity to see how brothers and sisters down there or over in Detroit, in Michigan, think and how they get down, man. Much needed, man. Appreciate you for that, bro. All right, all right. All right, Pope Mitchell Podcast TV. This is from James. Much love and respect. I appreciate you, King. I hope all is well, my brother. Sending best wishes and blessings always. Happy Thursday to you and yours. One. All right. There it is there, man. Lisa Morris says, peace and love, King. Pope Mitchell, Queen Nzinga, James Cash, Al Thomas, Raymond Skull, B1 Black First. There it is, y'all. There it is. Frederick Hasby, man, what it do? He say, hey, Bub, interview the game's mother on Club Shay Shay Game says you can sell. Oh, yeah, man. His mother and her sisters. I know, you know, we know them. Yeah, grew up with them. Yeah, that's Valerie and Betty and them. You know, yeah, I went to elementary with his auntie, Veronica. Valerie. I knew Betty real cool, man. Betty, you know, we seen Betty not too long ago, hung out with her, matter of fact. Yeah, his mother, man. I know, you know, knew his mother, everything, bro. Yeah, man, that'd be nice, man. You know, again, we come from that community, man. You know, everybody knew everybody, man. Literally, you know, literally. So yeah, man, that would be a nice interview to have his mom on here, man, and just talk about the old days, you know. Well, cool fool, what it do, the homie? Peace right back to you, bro. Peace right back to you, man. Now, I don't know, Rakufu said the game's mother was claiming 107, not 74. I don't know about that one, homie. Matter of fact, she was the girlfriend of a few homies, you know, one of the homies back in the day, man, you know. So yeah, I don't know, man. That whole family, that's 74 and over right there. You know, I'm just saying. Yeah, I don't know about that one, Rakufu. Yeah. The homie, man, he goes on to say, son, pick up and bus. Yeah. son, pick up and bus. Nigeria's first indigenous automaker. Yeah, produce cars, vans, and buses locally with many parts made in Nigeria. Okay, yeah, that's that get out, man. We were talking about Tuesday. You go on to say the homie, other variants like Kantanka, Oposul have been produced. Ghana's locally based automotive brand focuses on vehicles designed for African roads and conditions. In fact, you're correct, because the wife and I went and looked that up, and most of their vehicles are built for Africa's terrain, their roads and stuff like that. So yeah, we did look that up. You're going to say Ghana and Nigeria got cars to sell, as well as manufacturer Mobius Motors, Kenyan-based, made in Kenya model Mobius 2 SUV designed for rugged, affordable transport adapted to rough, rural African terrains. Yeah, that's what we saw the other night. After we had this conversation, we went home and started looking it up and everything. Glad you on yours too, bro. Glad you on yours too. Kayula Solar Bus. What is that? Kayula Solar Bus Electric / Solar Bus Project. Ugandan engineering students and the government are developing hybrid and electric vehicles. Yeah. Also, we looked up Burkina Faso, and they're looking up. Them cars actually look nice. Yeah. Yeah, they look nice. Burkina Faso is doing their thing as well. But the homie goes on to say there's just a few Black African countries that manufacture automobiles that we could connect with and start making money together, Black family. And that was our conversation Tuesday night. How do we get into this game of entrepreneurship, of enterprising businesses, where we start building our own wealth, investing with our own brothers and sisters across the water, as much as here, you know? That was the conversation the other night. And I'm glad the homie came back in and brought that up. There you go, man. All right, you guys, I got the nod. I got the nod. I see it's a whole lot in here right now. Yeah. Okay. I want to read this one. I want to read this one from Fat Rat. He said, Bub, the woman like the moon, she reflects the sun, man. So her condition is his fault. No such thing as a no good woman without a no good man who put her there. So we atone and work. Real spit, bro. Real spit. Real spit. I hear you, man. See, one day I said I'm out of bed, but still in my PJs at 12:20 p.m. in the afternoon, eating homemade chocolate mousse out of a giant mixing bowl. You remember them days? Mom said, make a cake for you, man, whatever. You get to have a bowl, man. Memories, man. Loved it. Loved it. Pope Mitchell said, my grandma raised me to love my mother through my mother. Though my mother didn't raise me. Now my mother has dementia, and it's because of my grandma. I know how to stand up with her. There you go, man. Take care of her now, home. Just take care of her. Rakufu says the show keeps evolving into greater greatness. Appreciate that, brother. And it's because of you guys. It's because of the RGCs. RGC. That's the Royal Group Congregation. It's not a game, y'all. It's not a game, but it's because of the people, all seriousness, man. In all seriousness, it's because of the people who come to this platform, who come to touch bases with the brothers and sisters in love, respect, and unity. That's the get out. That's what makes this thing go. So, man, you know, this thing is great because of you guys, not because of me. No, that's why this thing is going. That's why this thing is appreciated. That's why you guys are here, because of your greatness. You know, you guys' willingness to be involved, you know, to have something to say about each and every one of us as much as you do about yourselves, man. That's what matters. That's what matters. There it is, man. Yeah, for everybody that lost a mother or grandmother, man, our condolences, man. We understand. We know that. You know, we know how that, you know, how missing that loved one is, how it affects us, you know. And I'm telling you, my wife speak about her mama every day. You know, we talk about our mothers every day. We walk in our den, we got these big old pictures of our mothers side by side, you know. So we understand that loss, you know, that pain for just missing that person in the physical sense, that woman, you know, our mother. We go through it every day, you know. So we not only empathize, not only sympathize, we empathize. We know what that's like. So for everybody who lost somebody, we send our love and condolences, man. You know, and we suggest that just bask in the memories, man. Just bask in the memories. Picture that face, man, the smile. I mean, you ain't gonna help but smile. You know, I know I do. All right, well, cool. You say you were originally born in Detroit. All right. There you go. Oh, it's all good, James, man. Your involvement in here, man. Look, man, bro, if you're missing in the chat right now, that ain't nothing. We scroll back down and read everything you said. It ain't like it went nowhere, man. Your words are here. You know, just like, you know, our loved ones are gone. Remember what they said, you know, and that makes us think about them. You're no different in that sense, bro, in that respect. You spoken, man. Your words are here. You know, they are here. They ain't gonna go nowhere, man, for a long, long time. You know what I mean? Okay, C1 Dead, I'm right along with you. She said, last cheers. Stay safe, everyone. Today was a great listen. I appreciate y'all for real. Sending all my love from the deep. All right, C1, man. Woman, queen, mother. You take care and always keep your head up like I told you, you know. You are special. You are loved, all right? You have the support of the Royal Group congregation. Take care of yourself. I want to say to the Royal Group congregation, to the chat, and to everybody that came in for the first time tonight, man, peace and blessings to you and yours. We appreciate you. Love yourself. You know, I say this all the time because it really means something, y'all. If you do not love yourself, you can't love nobody, man, in this chat. Somebody walking down the street, even the people that you call family. You have to love self first. Love yourself, man, in order to be able to love those who need love. We got a lot of people who don't know they need love, y'all. Love yourself can help them get to that, all right? Because you're going to share that. You want it to spill over. You want them to feel and know what you know. Feel what you feel and know what you know. Love is a powerful thing, y'all. So on that note, man, we send our peace, man. We send our blessings to everybody in the Get Out, man. We salute everybody. All you brothers, man, you are saluted, loved and respected. All you sisters, we honor you guys. You women, your flowers. You are loved and respected as well. Take care of one another. Take care of yourselves. Peace and blessings, all right? You are, you have been, and you will be under the groove. Power's in the people, y'all. Stand up. Stand up. Let's get it done.
Count the names, count the bodies, count the victory. Cullen Hughes, Hurst, and writing future history. From the Apollo to the borough to the... Count the names, count the bodies, count the victory. Cullen Hughes, Hurst, and writing future history. From the Apollo to the borough to the sphere. Where the echo of those Harlem nights still ringing clear. So when they ask what happened in those tenement flats, between the spirituals and where consciousness is at, tell them we transform suffering to scholarship and song. Tell them we've been telling you we're brilliant all along. The Renaissance will prologue every decade since the sequel. Every black child born's continuation of the people who survived the Middle Passage, survived the Jim Crow laws and built magnificence from nothing but their vision and their flaws. That's in the sergeant. This is once a less than Panthers, hats, and Mercedes. Please don't you, I can't stop us. Power sensitive, watch the applause for polls. Need your data, tropes, and counsel, any problem when the wet just wanna build the seats and bait. Now don't get the pause. It's just erasing up the times, plead the market soft the main. Make it on the fans, turn the neck and love the durn suffers like a kesha. You were wrong to preaching up, I'm sorry, see chillun, bitch on the shit and untrue seeing vets and wonder very it's on Gary Land. Be hell in heaven, you see what the bonafide. You wait talking for the marker rate to keep him through the club and saw the bloods to the sang of land is carried open slowly. Keep us looking on my mother, break your generosity for the heat and let the blessed be and every time we keep a spawn.